Benjamin Watts, we have football. I can't do it. Oh, no, Ben. Oh, no. For everybody who just clicked in their podcast player and heard, oh, no, I can't do it. If you've been listening for a while, you'll remember, I don't know which episode it was, but at one point, Ben explained how every single time before we hit record, and there's a 5-second timer on the recording, he tries to do something to screw me up. And 9 times out of 10, I do it stoically, straight-faced, unfazed. And this was one of the 1 of 10.
Today.
It didn't work. He got me. Oh, he got me. Oh, man. A big episode today on a serious note.
A good one.
No, this is not a serious note.
It's not a serious note.
This is the Fantasy Awards, Scramble Drill style. That's Ben Watts over there. I'm Josh Johnson. This thing that we do, this is Scramble Drill. We've got our Fantasy Season Awards on the episode. We've got some coach talk, a little bit of chopping it up about the playoffs. Lots of disappointments all around. I guess it's fair to say.
A lot of disappointing people out there.
I would say, how about them Cowboys? But they got one up. Woo! How about them Eagles?
How about the NFC East giving up 80 points combined in the playoffs? Devastating.
The Cowboys got absolutely mollywopped on their home field by the 7 seed. But the first
7 seed to beat a 2 seed.
Yeah, ever. Amazing. And then, not to be outdone, the Eagles came out and looked like a 4-win team.
Hold up. We're going to get Baker Mayfield to move on.
Oh, I was live tweeting the Eagles game just for funsies. And I don't remember if I tweeted anything funny, but yeah, no, there was nothing funny. Nope. There was just a Baker Mayfield meme, which
it wasn't funny. It was
funny.
Just an all-around disastrous evening for the Eagles.
It was rough. It was very bad.
How about let's not let Cleveland off the hook completely, because Cleveland loses to the Texans. This is after they traded for Deshaun from the Texans. Now the Texans are full of players that the Texans got with those picks, and they just got bounced by the Texans, obviously. And Baker Mayfield, their former quarterback, is moving on.
That's a full round of bad beats.
That's tough.
Yikes. I didn't think about the Baker Mayfield part of this. That's bad.
Unfortunate.
I can't think of really. And the best part of it was Deshaun Watson didn't even play in their playoff game. They did all that, and the guy that you traded everything for, what was it? It was Will Anderson, Tank Dell, C.J. Stroud. Who else was involved in that?
What did they get?
Yeah, everybody I know
they got
good?
three. They got 3 first-rounders, like a second and a fifth, I think.
Good grief.
Let's put it this way. The NFL script writers popped off in the first round of the playoffs.
They did.
They had some heat for us. We weren't ready.
They did. I don't know. Do you have any desire to go back into any of these games, or should we just leave it at chaos happened and we're happy with it?
I mean, chaos happened. I was kind of happy with it. Anybody who wins from here on, I'm okay with it. Obviously, if you listen to the show, you know I'm a big Josh Allen fan. I have been a big fan of Josh Allen, really ever since he was in college, because I didn't discover Josh Allen, but my joke is I discovered him because I was watching a Wyoming game, and I was like, holy crap, who is this guy? And, yeah.
He's running around.
I've been a big fan of Josh Allen since college.
5'11" white dudes.
I want him to get one. I want him to get past that hump of Mahomes in the playoffs. Nothing against Mahomes. I'm just a Josh Allen fan, so. But even still, I'm cool with everybody moving on now.
I went into work this morning, and the guy who sits across from me was asking me, he's like, what do we do with the playoffs now? Because the Cowboys were the NFC's, or at least in his mind, they were the team that was going to go to the Super Bowl. Chiefs, a little shaky. The Dolphins went out and laid an absolute egg. He was like, I don't know what to do.
You knew the Dolphins weren't going to win in negative 30 degrees.
Oh.
That was never a chance.
They had no shot. Absolutely no shot. But I looked over at him and I was like, what if, after just this majestic season, the Chiefs win another Super Bowl? Because nobody can take the crown.
Would we be surprised? I wouldn't.
No. I can see a path for them to win the Super Bowl. Absolutely.
Do I think that the Ravens are better? I do. I've never seen Lamar Jackson get past any like these big name quarterbacks though in the playoffs. I'm not saying he can't, but I got to see it first before I'm gonna be like, yeah.
Does Lamar Jackson have a single playoff win yet? I'm trying to remember if he's got any wins in the playoffs.
I want to say he has one. I think, but I'm not 100%
I feel like. So they lost. Was it the divisional round to Tennessee like 3 years ago? That's the only time he's been in the playoffs.
No, he lost to Josh Allen once too.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe he won a game before they played the Titans.
I'm not sure. That might be the case, yeah. But I don't.
And if they did, I truly have no clue who they played. I don't remember. Lamar Jackson is basically a playoff rookie. So that's wild to me. Patrick Mahomes.
He's been in a few times, but he loses every time.
Patrick Mahomes already has a touchdown to interception ratio in the playoffs that will just knock the socks off of you. He is 31 touchdowns to 3 picks in his playoff career. That's insane.
I will say this for my boy Josh Allen. Everybody wants to talk about how he's a turnover machine, and to a certain extent, they're right. But in the playoffs, Josh Allen has 20 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. It's not quite what Mahomes is, but he has a significantly better touchdown-interception ratio in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah, he's great. He's nails in the playoffs. And he was really good against Pittsburgh. He was quite good. If you wanted a recap of that game, the only recap required was Josh Allen. That's it. That is the only description of that entire game.
He tossed 3 touchdowns, and he had a 50-yard rushing touchdown.
I love that. It was.
What do you want me to say?
He almost fake slided, like Kenny Pickett style, and then just pulled. It was like a
Is
slight
that the right terminology there?
Then,
Slided? Slid?
I don't know.
Slid.
Slitted?
Almost fake slid?
I don't know. Almost slid. Slid is definitely correct.
We're not English majors here.
Nope. Slided is incorrect. Yeah. Fake slide. 50 yards for a tug.
That's my boy.
He's excellent.
He's a beast.
There's coaches. Lots of coaches to talk about. And I think
some of them are not currently coaches.
Right. I thought of a very interesting exercise that I didn't warn you about because I just wanted to get your extreme knee-jerk reaction to this. If you had to pick where all these coaches landed, not where you would prefer they land, because I know it's different than how it's actually going to go, but if you had to pick what you think is actually going to happen, where do you think these coaches land? We've got Belichick out there, Harbaugh out there, Vrabel out there, rumors that McCarthy and Sirianni get let go. Let's see. You've got the Chargers out there, Panthers. Panthers are out there, the Commanders. Where do you think these guys end up?
Harbaugh, my gut says the Chargers. I think he's got connections to LA, so it would make sense. He's a good coach. I mean, he went to like 4 straight NFC championships when he was with the 49ers. They've got an established quarterback in Justin Herbert, who we love. It would fit. It makes sense, and I think he could have success there. Belichick, I don't know, dude. I don't want him to go to Atlanta. I'll say that right off the bat. I know Atlanta's already... I know we have interviewed him, I know our owner wants to win, so it would make sense for us to go Belichick, even though I do not want it. Vrabel, I feel like Seattle makes sense for him. I don't know why, but that feels like a fit to me.
I could see that. I would be very happy if Seattle hired Mike Vrabel, candidly. There's only one true offensive coach out there in Ben Johnson, and I would be very excited if we hired Ben Johnson. But
and everyone's going to be – Ben Johnson is a highly sought-after man.
Yes, but I think myself as a Seahawks fan, yourself as a Falcons fan, I think we have to face the music that neither one of us is going to get Ben Johnson.
No, probably not. That's who I want. My dream scenario, and this is dreamland, but I mean, realistically, Atlanta could do this if they wanted. They won't, but they could. Is you hire Ben Johnson, and then you trade 3 first-round picks, move up to take Caleb Williams.
Oh.
I don't think that's unrealistic that it couldn't happen. I don't think it will, but the ability to do that and the pieces are there to make that happen.
Yeah, I mean, you could. I don't think it's going to happen. You could. Maybe. Potentially. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Ben Johnson either goes to the Chargers or to the Commanders, where
I'd love to see him in LA.
I would love that too.
Give him Justin Herbert. Holy smokes.
Oh, gosh. You've got the established quarterback already with the Chargers, and then with the Commanders, you get the opportunity to choose your starting quarterback. So I think he's going to want to go wherever a quarterback is situated. There's an outside chance that maybe I personally feel like the Dallas and Philadelphia openings are I don't think
they're not even open yet. It's all rumors.
They're not open, but I'm treating them as they have fired their coaches already. Those are openings in my mind.
I think it depends. It all depends if you're Dallas or Philadelphia, if you have a legit shot to get Belichick, then I think you can move off your coach. But you need to, if you're going to do that, you need to be getting him. It needs to be kind of a thing. Him or Mike Tomlin for the Steelers.
Mike Tomlin is staying with the Steelers.
Do we know that for sure?
There was a report today that he is going to coach for them next year. I don't know specifics. It was just I saw the headline, Mike Tomlin is going to be back in 2024. There could be some fine print in there, but I think he's back.
Okay. Still, get a guy who is a proven winner.
Yeah, I think Belichick ends up with the Eagles, to be honest with you. I don't know. I truly don't know where Dallas is going to go, because I think that's not as attractive of a coaching opening as you would think it would be because of Jerry Jones.
You have to deal with that. And there's ridiculously high expectations in Dallas.
Yeah, and you're about to walk into a situation where your quarterback is getting paid $50 to $55 million a year starting next year. CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons are both going to get $100 million plus contracts. They're on the rookie deal still, so they haven't gotten even paid yet. And then on top of that, you got to deal with Jerry Jones micromanaging everything, having press conferences outside of the locker room, and generally taking all the shine whenever anything good happens. So, you've got a puppet master, you've got a bad cap situation, theoretically, and you kind of have a ceiling quarterback. Dak Prescott almost won an MVP and then pissed down his leg in the playoffs. It's just...
How many times has Dak almost won an MVP and then choked the playoffs? It is multiple times.
I can, this year for sure. And then the year that he broke his leg, remember how he was on pace for 5,500 yards or something and then broke his leg?
Yeah, he legitimately was on pace for 6,000 passing yards, I think.
Yeah, that year probably. I mean, it was early. I think it was 6 weeks into the season or something that he got hurt. But that year,
he had 2,500 yards 6 weeks. 6 weeks in, or something like that. Something like 3,000. I can't even remember. It was a lot. Justin
Fields could never. It was insane. Yeah. I don't know where some of these guys end up going. I think if I'm treating it like McCarthy and Sirianni are getting fired, if they get fired, I don't see them getting hired anywhere this cycle. I kind of like Vrabel to Seattle, not going to lie to you.
It makes sense to me.
Harbaugh feels like the golden goose. Like everybody is going to try to bend over backwards to get Harbaugh. Even when Bill Belichick is out there, I feel like everybody is going to want Harbaugh.
Do you blame him? I mean,
no,
Belichick is old, and he's old school. This is why I don't want Belichick. And I've told you this, I've told other people this, and it's not to discount the greatness of Bill Belichick, but he is old school. He doesn't seem incredibly willing to change with that kind of stuff, and the league is just transitioning away from his style. It's an offensive league, like. Almost all the coaches you see winning now, they're offensive coaches, quarterback focused, and like that's just not what Bill is anymore. And like if he goes to somewhere like Atlanta, this is why I don't want him. Like I've seen him try to piecemeal it together with quarterbacks, with Mac Jones and those guys, and it's not pretty. And that's exactly what he's going to have to do if he comes to Atlanta.
Yeah, he is. You're going to have to figure out something at quarterback, and that's going to be difficult. I'm not going to lie to you.
And he's 72 years old. So, I mean, can you truly lock him in for like, okay, we've got a coach for the next 10 years?
No. You might have 3.
So it doesn't fit Atlanta's timeline in my mind. And that's why like Dallas or like he could handle a cap situation. Like if he goes to Dallas, I think he would figure that out. Like that doesn't concern me. It's the style and the longevity. That's the problem.
Yeah, and I mean, like, if he goes to Dallas or if he goes to Philly, he doesn't handle personnel in either one of those situations. They make sense, for sure, but he's just a coach in those two situations. Jerry Jones is not giving up personnel. Howie Roseman is not giving up personnel. And, like, in those situations, Bill Belichick is just a straight coach.
He's been
very fine
GMing the New England, though.
Exactly, and that's where I think he's not good. I think he's a great coach. GM? I don't know. He cannot draft outside of linebackers and
that's
safeties.
my like my one hope like that Atlanta wouldn't get him is because Terry Fontenot has like a legit 50% on everything in Atlanta. So Bill couldn't ever do anything without getting Terry Fontenot completely on his side. So
right.
Bill can say yes and Terry can say no, and now you've got a problem.
Right. Yeah. Anything else on all these games, these coaches, before we hop into the awards show?
Not a ton. I'm just ready to watch Josh Allen. That's all I got.
It's going to be exciting. I can't wait for that game.
We should probably start out with shouting out to Landon Hewell. He wrote most of these awards. Obviously, some of these are the obvious ones, our fantasy MVP, the playoff league winner, rookie of the year, things like that. But those are the obvious easy ones. Landon came up with like 90% of the names for these, so this is a shout out to him. Thank you, Landon. These are awesome. I cried a few times laughing so hard at some of these, so here we go.
Yeah, and I guess disclaimer before we get into these are not your daddy's awards. You're about to enter the Twilight Zone. This is an experience.
Some of these are really good. Let's start out easy.
Yeah.
Let's go fantasy MVP. Who's our fantasy MVP? I feel like this is easy.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you have to pick somebody off the top, it's just Christian McCaffrey, right?
Yeah. It's Christian McCaffrey.
Okay. No debate there. Great.
No.
Perfect.
MVP. And let's go rookie of the year. I think this one's pretty easy too. I like Puka.
Can we say it?
I like Gibbs. I like Bijan, but
oh, I'm stumped now. I'm forgetting somebody, aren't I? I was going to say
Stroud.
Puka. Oh, yeah, you're right. Yes. Sorry. Apologies.
CJ Stroud.
It's CJ Stroud. I was about to say Puka. It's so on brand.
I thought you were about to say Puka. I'm like, hold on. Puka was rookie wide receiver of the year, if we're going to go with that.
Well, okay. If we had to pick fantasy-based rookie of the year, who do you think was more valuable to most fantasy teams? The wide receiver
probably
4.
Puka.
There you go. That's all I needed. All right, I'm
going to give it to Stroud.
I'm going to shut up now. Yeah, it's okay. It's Stroud. That's fine.
I've given Puka his props. I mean, I've propped the guy up to like my dynasty wide receiver 5. I don't know what more you want from me, Josh.
I literally want nothing else. I
don't know what else.
I'm already so happy. I am so happy right now.
I was slow.
Else.
I feel like we got a lot of hate on one of our Instagram posts about Puka. Like, why are you guys jumping on him now? I'm like, we're not like jumping on him now. I'm being transparent. I'm admitting where I was wrong. I never said he was like bad, quote unquote, but I'm like, I was just slow to get there because I wanted to see it. And guess what? I saw it. I was wrong. I should have jumped right on it. And I missed out on Puka. I have like 0 shares of him. And I made a boo-boo.
It's funny too, because like people who play fantasy football, there's this complex where you feel like if somebody didn't call their shot early before anybody else knew a player existed, you're not allowed to say they're good when they're good. When it hits, like you're forbidden from saying that Puka Nacua is good after everybody can acknowledge, oh yeah, he's good. Nope, you cannot say that because you didn't call it early. Therefore, you have forfeited your ability to acknowledge the truth.
What do you want me to sit here and lie now? Like, no, he's just bad. No, he's awesome. What do you?
Yeah, like I love that. It's always so much fun when we get those comments because they're so stupid. They're so dumb, and it's just funny to see them because it's like, what are we doing?
And I'm not the only one that missed. I'll tell you that. Other people were slow to come around. He was a 5th round draft pick, guys. 5th round. So NFL teams didn't like him that much either. Right. So don't jump on me.
Yeah. The actual NFL where people get paid money to do this.
Yeah.
They didn't like him either.
He's a 5th rounder. So everybody just calm down. Let's take a deep breath. So what have we hit? We've hit MVP. We've hit Rookie of the Year. Let's go bad. Let's go most disappointing. Who do you think it is?
The most disappointing well, I have the answer right in front of me.
We've got the answer. There's a cheat sheet right here.
I have the answers, Ben. I don't know. Who was disappointing this year?
Maybe a guy
Arthur
who went
Smith.
in the first round.
Oh.
Disappointing player.
Jamar Chase.
Arthur Smith will be brought up this year in this list. Don't you worry. Just sit back. His name will be brought up.
Yeah, he was disappointing.
You can say Jamar Chase, and I see the argument for it. However, Jamar Chase still finishes a wide receiver 12. So
it's not bad.
In a disappointing year, he was still a wide receiver 1. Not where you drafted him, but still a wide receiver 1.
It's not bad.
Who was disappointing is Austin Eckler.
Yes, he was.
Austin
Where did
Eckler
he
was
finish?
RB,
was it
27, 30? I think.
Yikes. And he was drafted as some people drafted him over Christian McCaffrey. I remember seeing those messages. And the worst part of it is I didn't hate it. Like, I didn't think it was an awful decision at the time. I didn't end up drafting Austin Eckler at his ADP anywhere. It just didn't work out that way in all the drafts that I was in.
You dodged a bullet.
I remember thinking, I dodged a major bullet. I just remember thinking like, yeah, Austin Eckler, that's fine. I think I preferred Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Tyreek Hill. But he was right there.
I think we all did, but
yeah.
It was a weird year. Like it was, most people was like Jefferson, Chase, and then McCaffrey went at 3. And then it was like 4 or 5 wide receivers, and then Eckler and Bijan.
Yeah.
It's a weird year.
Yeah. Eckler was very disappointing.
Moving on from disappointing veterans, how about the most disappointing rookie of the year? There's a couple names you could bring up for this one.
Oh, Quentin Johnston.
Yeah, easy.
I didn't look at the sheet for that one. That was just obvious.
Easy.
We knew he sucked.
I would like to say we did call it. We didn't like him pre-draft. We liked his landing spot. But, I mean, and we would have, and I'm glad we didn't, we would have been worse wrong. Like, if you told me that Mike Williams was going to tear his ACL like week 2 or 3, probably would have been all over Quentin Johnston.
Oh, we would have. It would have been really, really bad if we knew how the script was going to play out.
Yeah. Mike Williams tears his ACL. And not only that, but like Austin Eckler is injured because he was like a vacuum in the Chargers offense for all those touchdowns. So if you tell me Austin Eckler's touchdowns are wide open and Mike Williams is gone, like, holy crap, this is about to be legit. And he was far and away like the worst rookie receiver.
Awful.
Yeah.
Awful. I haven't even looked at his final stats, but it was awful. We did a whole thing on him like a week ago. He had a 0.8 yards per route run or something. It was terrible.
It's not good. So, yeah. Most disappointing rookie. My favorite award personally. To the man who deserves it the least. We haven't done it as much this year, and I'm sad about it, is the weekly weenies has kind of gone away, and we need to bring it back. But the weenie of the year is the man who receives the award every single week. It's Kyle Pitts.
Oh
it
no.
Is. It is.
Kyle. No, Kyle.
You knew we had to do it to him. I feel bad about it. I don't want to do it. But it had to happen.
Honorable mention, Calvin Ridley.
Calvin Ridley will get brought up later. But he wasn't necessarily a weenie.
No. He was either really good or awful. He was either on the weenies or he was a weak winner.
I would like to put him as my bench warmer of the year because every time I started him, he got like 5 points. And then I benched him for the rest of the year, and he was like the wide receiver like 13 from weeks 8 to the end of the year. Like, great. After I've completely lost trust in him, he's unstoppable.
It's just the best, isn't it? It's so much fun.
Thanks, Calvin. I blame Trevor. This is his fault.
Yeah. Oh, geez. Trevor Lawrence, a.k.a. long-haired Daniel Jones.
All right. I think it's time to get into the good stuff.
Oh, let's do it.
The real ones. These are Landon Hewell specials. I want to start out with the worst test taker, the man who fooled everyone. And the reason he was potentially the rookie of the year is C.J. Stroud.
Oh, yeah.
You remember when he scored like an 18 on the Wonderlic and like Bryce Young and everybody else was scoring in the 90s? And everybody's like, C.J. Stroud's an idiot.
I remember the segments on ESPN after that report came out. Everybody was like, is he stupid? What is happening? And like
even bad scores are like 30. My man got an 18.
They were like, this guy stinks. And it's so funny because like the Wonderlic is just a giant smokescreen because obviously it has nothing to do with the game of football because C.J. Stroud is so far and away the best player that came out of that draft class.
He's like a top 10 quarterback. Like not top 10 rookie, like top 10 like fantasy. Like he's straight up to a top 10 real life quarterback right now.
Absolutely. And he's being valued right now by serious people as the QB3 in Dynasty Fantasy Football. And it's not insane.
No, it's not the worst take. I'm with it and not with it at the same time. And what I mean by that is I've got it in a tier. And I've got tier 1. I think Josh Allen has really pulled away from the pack. So it's him and Mahomes, I think, are in tier 1. And then I think tier 2 is kind of a big tier where I've got like Hurts, Burrow, Herbert, Stroud, and Lamar. So I've got 5 guys in there. I'm kind of okay with however you want to order that tier. But those guys are all the same to me in my mind, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah. The Stroud value has gone up so high, though, that I saw it on Twitter today. Somebody traded Stroud a second and a third for Hurts and a first.
Stroud a second. And I don't hate it. Yeah.
And like human beings with brains were saying in the comments that they preferred Stroud to Hurts straight up. And it was like, man, things have changed. And Hurts was really good for fantasy this year because of all those rushing touchdowns.
Yeah. Jason Kelce retired. I don't know if we mentioned that earlier, but
we didn't. We missed that.
You think that could damage the tush push a little bit, bring Hurts' value down some?
I think that will have something to do with it. Surely, though, whoever they bring in at center, they will teach them the tush push if they're doing it again next year. But yeah, Jason Kelce
if it gets banned, Jalen Hurts is like what, the QB 19?
19. Good.
Just kidding. God,
man. Jesus.
That was a joke, guys. Calm down. I am a little bit low on Jalen Hurts in real life, though.
Yeah, I don't think you think he's a good actual NFL quarterback.
I think if we were, I think C.J. Stroud is way better in real life than Jalen Hurts is.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not even a conversation to me.
Yeah, in fantasy, it's just a whole different argument because Jalen Hurts scores so many rushing touchdowns that, the best actual quarterback, can't compete.
Yeah. Okay. Enough of that. C.J. Stroud, we were wrong. All right. Let's see. Let's find some good ones here. We're going to go with the slow start award. This is a player who started poorly and finished great. We got 3 names here. Josh, I don't know which one you prefer of all here. I think it's got to be Gibbs. We got Gibbs and Breece Hall as the options. And my reasoning is like Hall was kind of inconsistent all year and he just finished super strong. Gibbs started out really slow and then just stayed strong the entire rest of the season. So
yeah,
that was my reasoning behind it.
Breece, I would go Breece, but you didn't get to experience the Breece Hall experience, and it's well documented on this podcast.
You traded away the Breece Hall experience.
Yeah, I did. I traded it when it was at its darkest. Gibbs. I should have waited until the dawn. Because I should have known, but I didn't wait.
You would have won a championship if you hadn't traded Breece Hall.
I don't want to talk about it because you're absolutely right, and it pains me so much because I traded Breece Hall for Travis Etienne, and Breece Hall ended up Travis Etienne was the RB3 on the season, and Breece Hall on the back of his amazing stretch finished as the RB4, and I would have won the championship. I so mad about that.
I feel very bad for you.
Just awful.
All right. The Screeching Halt Award. A guy who started great and finished poorly, and we're going to give that to Stephon Diggs.
Yep.
Stephon Diggs was like the wide receiver 1 through the first 8 weeks, and I don't know if he cracked double digits after that.
It was bad. It was real bad.
Some of that has to do with Ken Dorsey leaving and Joe Brady taking over the reins, and the offense kind of went more run-focused than pass-focused. I don't know. I don't think Stephon Diggs is necessarily bad. I don't think he's hitting an age cliff yet, per se. He is getting older, but he's not at his age cliff. I think it was more situational. But for fantasy, I don't care about your situation. I drafted you in the first round. I expect greatness.
And he did not deliver for like the second half of the season. So
he did not. When I needed him the most.
Yeah. Fitting award for him.
The draft day heist. We're kind of breaking into this slow. We haven't got to the real good ones yet. But the draft day heist was not Adam Thielen. I'm sorry. Raheem Mostert.
Yeah, I was like, whoop, reverse. That's Raheem Mostert.
We had 2 names there. Raheem Mostert's the one we were going to go with.
If you were to do it for the first 6 weeks of the season, sure, it could have been Adam Thielen. I remember we were having the conversation like, holy crap, Adam Thielen, really, really good. And then
he was like the wide receiver 3. I guess I'm going to go trade for Adam Thielen.
Crash.
It's tough.
So Mostert.
Raheem Mostert was the RB3?
Yeah, he was. No, he was the RB2.
You got him in round 14?
No. Kyron Williams was the RB2. I can't remember where Mostert finished up, but he had 20 touchdowns, so it doesn't matter.
It was stupid.
It was ridiculous.
All right, the medical marvel, the player whose grit, dedication, and heart allowed him to beat his injury.
Okay.
Josh, I'm going to let you go with this one.
Do I have to pick a winner?
Yes.
Of the 2 names here?
Yes.
All right. The clear and obvious winner here It's Damar Hamlin.
Obviously.
For beating
This is a
death.
fantasy show, Josh. This is a fantasy show. Pick Breece Hall.
Oh, it's Breece Hall. But it could be Damar Hamlin, but it's Breece Hall.
Real life, it's Damar Hamlin.
Yeah, he's alive. That's enough.
There will be some awards later down the line here that are not necessarily fantasy related.
Yeah.
So this one is kind of not. I don't know which we're going to go with here. We're going to go with quarterback by committee.
Okay.
The team that had the most indecision at quarterback, and I think we got to give it to the Jets.
There's so many good options. I got to go with the Browns.
I want to give it to my Falcons, but
the Browns
we only had two options, and they were both bad.
You're right. And the Jets only had, the
Jets had like three. They had like Trevor Siemian. They did start Zach
Tim Boyle
Wilson,
at one point, didn't they?
Tim Boyle. I think they had four.
They did. I just thought of the Browns having four because it was obviously Deshaun Watson, and then it was P.J. Walker, and then it was Dorian Thompson-Robinson, and then they just fell ass backwards into Joe Flacco.
But I feel like they settled on a good one, though, that like he got them there. Whereas the Jets were just forever in purgatory.
Oh, it was painful. Painful to watch.
The Steelers were an option for this with Kenny Pickett and Mason Rudolph. The Vikings were potential after Kirk because you went...
Absolutely.
Jaron Hall. No, they went straight from Kirk to like... Jaron Hall started one game, and then Josh Dobbs came in during that game, went off for like 3 weeks, then turned to crap, and then they went back to Jaron Hall.
And then Nick Mullins. Yeah.
The Patriots could be an option here, but kind of like the Falcons, they only had two options, and they both sucked. So...
Yeah, it's not really committee. It's just quarterbacks that suck award.
Quarterbacks by dumpster fire.
Patriots. Exactly, yeah. So, what do we say? The winner, the Jets, they get QB by
I think
committee?
the Jets, yeah.
We'll give it to them.
I'm going to say the Jets because they didn't make the playoffs.
You got to throw them a bone.
Yeah. All right, now we're breaking into some of the awards here that are perhaps less so fantasy inclined. But we just thought they were really good. The financial fraudster.
Okay.
The man who got paid the big bucks but did not deliver in the slightest. I'm going to give this co-awards here. This is going to Daniel Jones and Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders pulled a fast one on you and I, big time.
Ooh, that was
My man lost his job. And Daniel Jones got paid $160 million, and I can't remember the last time he was on the field. I know he got hurt. But he wasn't good before that either.
No, he went out. So he backed the Brinks truck up, got paid $160 million, sucked, got a concussion, came back, sucked, tore his ACL.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. And then Miles Sanders
that one.
Straight up lost his job.
Yeah, real bad. Real
was
bad.
Miles Sanders hurt? At one point he was hurt, but he came back and was a backup. Great.
Yeah.
Most devastating injury. This one's a close one.
This is clear and obvious.
Aaron Rodgers?
Yes.
Because when Aaron Rodgers went down, not only did you lose him, you lost Breece Hall and you lost Garrett Wilson.
You lost everything. They went from legitimately a Super Bowl team, which I think that's very realistic. Like, knowing what we know about how good that defense was, the Super Bowl with a good quarterback and like a competent offense is very much in the realm of possibilities. And he goes down like 3 plays into the season, and the season is over. Deleted. So, yeah.
You could consider Justin Jefferson and Joe Burrow in this argument too, because Joe was never really healthy all season. We got like a 2 or 3 week stretch where he was, and he looked great. The Bengals looked unstoppable, and then he broke his wrist. Great. But I'm hopeful next year.
Yeah, there's always next year.
Squandered second-year success. These are a promising second-year player we were hoping would break out. It just didn't happen, and that's going to go to Jahan Dotson. People were excited about Jahan Dotson.
Absolutely. Yeah,
and
and
I hadn't
Treylon
heard
Burks,
his name in a while.
Yeah, and Treylon Burks was another option, and he disappeared because of injury. Jahan Dotson didn't really get hurt. He just disappeared. He was just gone.
He's fine. But
He's
Curtis
fine
Samuel
now.
and Terry McLaurin got all the work.
He just stole his lunch money and never gave it back.
Yeah. All right. We're going to go with the vanishing act. This is the dad who went out for some milk and never came back. And we're going to give that to one of our least favorite players, and that's Dameon Pierce.
Oh, man. Dameon Pierce went out for some milk and skipped town.
Never came back. Devin Singletary had to take care of the family while he was away.
Oh. It's like, have you seen the meme that's been circling around where it's this Italian man and his wife got into a fight and he went out for some air and then walked 260 kilometers while getting some air? And then the police just stopped him after 260 kilometers and they were like, "What are you doing?" And he was like, "Well, I started walking and I just didn't want to stop."
Yeah, I'm not going back there.
I turned over a new leaf.
Yeah. So, yeah. Thank you, Dameon Pierce. Let's go with a swift decline.
Okay.
It's one we don't want to put up here. And he really didn't. If you look at where he finished, I wouldn't say it's a decline, but for him it is. And the emphasis is on swift because it's Travis Kelce. He wasn't the tight end
what
one.
You did there.
You do? It's not subtle.
I see what we did there, guys.
Yeah, so swift decline goes to Travis Kelce. I hope he bounces back. I'm excited.
He's not going to bounce back, Ben. He's 35 years old.
Listen,
downhill from here.
Listen, Tony Gonzalez put up a tight end one season at age 35.
Oh, I'm not saying
Tony Gonzalez
he can't
put
have
up
a tight end one season.
top 5 seasons.
I'm not saying he can't have a top 5 season, but like a top 5 season could still be really bad. He can average 11 points a game and have a top 5 season.
I think he was still number 1 in points per game because he had like 13 points a game.
And TJ Hawkinson
down from
were
like
tied.
the 18, which he normally has.
Yeah, he averaged 14.6 in PPR instead of like 18.
Yeah. So here's my favorite award. My
Okay.
favorite award. It is the Thanos level villain. The endgame of endgame villains. The man who has been destroying us the whole time. And I think we're finally towards the end of the movie. That award goes to Arthur Smith.
Yes, sir.
The Thanos level villain.
The
Destroyed.
snap that deleted Bijan Robinson, Drake London, and Kyle Pitts.
Yes. I think we can get him back now. We got a shot.
We do have a shot.
A
There's
1 in a
future
million
movies.
chance. Yes.
I love that one. That's a good one.
This one, we're not going to give too much context. This is kind of an if you know, you know. The most explosive head coach is Sean McDermott. If you don't know what we're talking about, please go look it up. You might get put on a list, but just do it.
Sorry in advance for everybody doing this at their 9 to 5.
Yeah, the FBI may show up.
Oh, that's good. That's so
All
good.
right. Yeah, if you know, you know. Dream blunt rotation is obviously Mike McDaniel. Because Mike looks so chill. Like, look, let me hit that.
You said without pause. Yeah, so Dream Blunt rotation, Mike McDaniel, obviously.
Obviously, yes. Have you seen the Miami Dolphins?
There's no competition for this award.
You listen to the man talk. Like, this is the biggest frat dude I've ever seen in my life. And I'm here for it. I'm not mad about it.
Not at all.
This is a good one. The most likely to throw you through a wall, but only as a way to hype you up, and that's got to go to Dan Campbell. My man's going to get you there. Let's go.
You're gonna be there. Bite some kneecaps, and then on your way back up, bite again.
Bite it again. Wow, this one is aggressive that Landon put on here. Can we say this one?
Which one are we going to?
The one underneath Dan Campbell.
Oh yeah, let it rip.
This is the person who is most likely to be executed on live television, and that is going to go to Desmond Ridder.
Good Lord.
People in Atlanta hate him.
Good grief. That's harsh.
Yeah.
It goes without saying there's not going to actually be any execution happening.
We hope.
Oh,
for Desmond's sake.
Oh, good Lord. Free Desmond.
All right, Landon decided to put in a couple shots here at us, and I appreciate it.
Good.
The award for my darling of the year has got to be DeAndre Swift, but he's my darling like all time. We know I'm a big DeAndre Swift believer. And,
big fan.
And yours is clearly Devon Achane.
Yes. You could make an argument for Puka Nacua, but I did say that Devon Achane was a top 24 running back before the season.
And I didn't believe you.
And that was viewed as insanity. And then it wasn't.
You were right. I was wrong.
I was too low.
My terrible trash take of the year award has got to be Calvin Ridley as a wide receiver one. Not the wide receiver one, but a wide receiver one.
Yeah, that one didn't age well.
Yeah, I missed that. This didn't age for you. This is your trash take of the year was Michael Pittman as wide receiver 48.
That was a whiff.
That was stupid.
that was not good. Not one of my finer moments.
That was a boo-boo.
Yay. Grab me a Band-Aid.
Our show as a whole, the stupidest shared take that we told many people to do. We ourselves did it. And it was that Miles Sanders is a viable running back option.
Not even top 24, not even top 36, but viable.
Viable. You can start him if you have to. No, you can't.
Nope. You cannot. He is non-existent.
The Robbed Promise Award is a player we were all excited to see, but he was taken from us far too soon. Anthony Richardson, obviously.
Of course. He's
rest
so
in
good.
Peace.
He's going to be amazing for fantasy football next year. I hope you realize that.
Oh my gosh. I'm in on Anthony Richardson. You ain't got to tell me.
It is. It's top 5 and it might be top 3 for fantasy football next year. I am.
Okay, let's calm down.
Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, Anthony Richardson.
CJ Stroud.
No, Anthony Richardson is going to score more fantasy points next season than CJ Stroud.
Mark it up. Is this you're calling it now?
Water bet right now. I don't know what we're water betting, but right now, let's do it.
All right. CJ Stroud or Anthony Richardson. I'm going to say CJ Stroud scores more. You're saying Anthony Richardson scores more.
Yep.
All right. I'm here for it. Let's do it. All right. The yards after catch merchant is unquestionably Brock Purdy.
I thought this was going to be a wide receiver award.
Block sturdy. No.
No, you're right.
Well, it could shared by all of Brock Purdy's receivers.
It could be Brandon Ayuk, who had 100 targets and 1,500 yards.
Yeah. All right. The Mr. Unlimited. This was just for Landon Hewell because he hates Russell Wilson. It's Josh Allen because obviously he's a quarterback 1. And Landon Hewell was also heavily invested into Geno Smith across his leagues, so he gets Mr. Limited.
He did not have a good year, did he?
No. He was okay.
He was.
But
I don't even think okay is an adequate representation. It was rough.
Yeah, it's tough. There were really no fantasy super relevant trades at the trade deadline this year, which was weird and annoying. We were kind of hoping for some big stuff. Nothing happened. So the Saved by the Bell Award goes to someone who was traded to the deadline, and that's Chase Young, who I'd say he upgraded a little bit.
I would say so.
You could say it was a fantasy football award because now it's even more annoying when your player is going up against San Francisco. You're like,
the defense is so annoying.
I don't want to start Jamar Chase, but I kind of have to because he is who he is. But he's playing San Francisco. Like, I don't want to do that.
He's going to score 8 points, but I have to start him because of principles, which is just the worst.
Yeah. We're going to go the Linsanity run, not with a bang, but with a whimper. Player who flashed in the pan and couldn't bring it back is easily Josh Dobbs.
Yeah.
Everybody was in on Josh Dobbs, and then, it fell apart.
That man threw 4 picks on a Thursday night, and it was over.
Yeah. The most inept front office. I'm gonna split this one down the middle. This is a co-award to the Broncos and the Panthers. The Broncos are a financial disaster, and the Panthers, I don't even know.
Are just a disaster. Yeah, it's not even that they have good players and bad cap. It's they have nothing good. They have no draft capital, no good players, and they're not in a great cap situation.
No. Let's go. This is a Landon Hewell award for backstory. A couple of years ago, when Mike Davis was like the starter in Carolina, out of the blue for no reason, and was like halfway decent for fantasy. I think it was Landon just never knew when to play him, so he hated him for that reason. And then he never had any value. He was just always on Landon's bench, and I don't know why. I think it might be that Landon's a Clemson fan and Mike Davis was a running back at South Carolina. It just culminated into him being Landon's most hated player ever. And this year he's given that to Najee Harris.
You know, it makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Najee did not do anybody any favors. No. So he's the honorary Mike Davis award. That's good. That's nice. I like the little tie in there.
We're the Angel Hernandez Award for officiating excellence has got to go to Brad Allen and his crew for screwing the Lions out of the 2 seed.
He's got a report. He's got a report.
Yeah.
What was that? Dan Skipper didn't report?
68. I don't remember who 68 is.
I can't remember. I don't know who offensive lineman.
I don't either. But if you don't know who Angel Hernandez is, he's like consistently one of the worst, definitely the worst MLB ump, and like everybody knows it. So that's who Angel Hernandez
is. That's
awesome. The player most likely to be sued for slander is Aaron Rodgers.
Obviously.
Jimmy Kimmel was on the Epstein list.
Yeah, that was spicy.
Aaron got banned from the Pat McAfee show.
Did he actually get banned from the Pat McAfee show?
Yeah, he got banned from the Pat McAfee show.
Did he really? The Pat McAfee
show, they kind of just say what they want. So if you get banned from that, that's not good.
They called out their bosses like last week. They said that the ESPN guy was a rat, and they got away with that. But did he really get banned from Pat McAfee?
Yeah, he is not going to appear on the show anymore. At least not this year.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
that's actually hilarious.
And this is from Sam Laporta. So the next Aaron Hernandez is Sam Laporta.
I'm gonna be totally honest. I don't get it.
I'm pretty sure it's because Sam Laporta was talking about guys he was trying to emulate, and Aaron Hernandez was one of them. And people were like, "Ooh, don't say that."
Oh no, that one doesn't mean what you think it means.
Ooh, no, Sam, no, don't do that.
I know Aaron Hernandez was a great tight end, but then he was also known.
That's what he was saying, but killed people.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm tracking now.
The CTE savant goes to the reigning champion, Antonio Brown. Yeah, if you don't follow Antonio Brown on Twitter, I
love that we thought the same thing without saying
Give him a follow. Give him a follow.
Best follow on Twitter, period, bar none. It is complete and utter nonsense.
Yeah. The squeaky wheels, the dynamic diva duo at receiver of George Pickens and Deontay Johnson.
Yeah, not great.
George Pickens is a diva, and Deontay,
is just not good.
Yeah. Yeah.
He got in the end zone this year, though.
Yeah. We're going to go, and this is a good one. The Devil's Noise Complaint Award. This is going to go to the man whose feet strikes the ground so hard that it causes Satan to ask, "What are y'all doing up there?" That's going to go to Isaiah Pacheco.
Oh, it could only be one.
The man who runs like he bites people. Isaiah Pacheco runs like one of those kids who like stops you in the hallway at church and be like, hey, look how fast I am. That's what Isaiah Pacheco looks like.
One of those homeschool kids trying to prove to his older brother that he can do something.
And I mean to a T, that's what it looks like.
It's exact.
Yeah.
He runs like he's trying on new shoes.
He runs like he gets paid per step.
I got no more. That was my only good one.
Yeah. So Isaiah Pacheco, congratulations.
Oh, that's good.
The Burning Man Award. This goes to the man whose fire inside him burned brighter than the fire around him. And that is undoubtedly David Njoku.
No, he did not.
David Njoku was on fire before the season, and then he finished the season on fire.
And during the middle of the season, he was actually on fire.
Yes.
Oh, dear Lord.
If you don't get that, David Njoku caught himself on fire during the season for the Cleveland Browns. Actually caught himself on fire. Yes.
Burned his face, showed up in a skeleton mask to cover up his burned face.
Yes.
But to his credit, he played on Sunday after burning his face off on Saturday.
Yeah. I'm impressed. That's
dedication to
the
game.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
That's why the fire inside him burns brighter than the fire around him. He's like,
absolutely.
No, I am fine. Get me
Stud.
in there. And then I would say this is the final award here. The indubitable boom or bust baller goes to our boy Calvin Ridley.
I love how we just throw in the indubitable boom or bust. Say indubitable 5 times fast, and you're still not going to know what it means.
Indubitably.
Indubitably, he was the boom or bust.
Indubitably, you will not know what indubitable means. But it's a fun word, and Calvin Ridley.
And you're never going to know when to start Calvin Ridley.
Yes.
That's perfect. Is that our awards?
That is our award show. This indubitably brings the 2024 fantasy relevant season to a close.
This was a joy, a true joy and a gem. Landon Hewell, you legend. These were great.
Leave a comment of what your favorite award was.
I don't even know what my favorite award was now that I think about it.
My personal favorites have got to be... I was a big fan of the Thanos level villain of Arthur Smith, Sean McDermott, and his explosive coaching style. And
I do love the dad who went out for milk.
And then also the Devil's Noise Complaint has got to be for Isaiah Pacheco. It's just perfect.
That's so good. Oh man. Oh, this was so good. Is there anything else you want to hop into before we get out of here?
No. Now that we've done this, we can get into Dynasty content, and I'm very excited for that.
Yeah, after this, it's full-blown rookie season. What are we doing? Dynasty ranks?
I think it would be good to do Dynasty ranks. Get some Dynasty rankings now. Exclude the rookies out of that because we want to know. Well, first, we got to know who all's declaring. Obviously, we want to know who is going where. See what their combine stuff looks like. All this stuff. So maybe do Dynasty rankings as it sits. Then we'll dive into rookies, all that jazz. And then, yeah, we'll update the rankings as the offseason progresses.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Dynasty rankings, rookie previews, all that fun stuff coming up. It's a fun time. I think this is, I know once the season starts, that's like obviously the best part of the fantasy football season. But the point when the season ends and you get back into dynasty mode, it's the best. And it's one of my favorites.
The leagues are dead quiet right now. It's the calm before the storm.
Oh, yeah. People are putting Tyler Lockett up on their trade block, and you get the notification that so-and-so has put somebody on the trade block, and you're like, great, I can go make a trade. And then you look, I have no interest in that.
I can honestly say I don't know if I've ever made a trade with somebody after they put somebody on the trade block. Like, I've never done it. I love the trade block. Once or twice, it's great, but nothing ever happens in my experience.
No. It usually, if nothing, like the thing that really gets the trade block moving, if you will, is when somebody makes a trade. Like you see somebody make a trade and then you're like, dang it, I want in on the action. And so then you start seeing stuff go down, and then like 2 more trades happen. And then all of a sudden it's been like dead. And then there's 5 trades that happen in 2 hours.
Yeah.
It's the best.
It all pops off at once.
Yeah. Man. I need somebody to go make a trade so that I get the urge to make a deal.
I tell you what, Josh, I'll make you a deal. I will give you Jamar Chase.
Oh, I like this.
You do. You're not going to like what you have to give me back, though.
Oh, God.
I want Justin Jefferson.
Oh, well.
And Travis Kelce.
Oh. Yeah, I think not.
I didn't think so.
I think I'm going to pass on that one. I did try to go get the 101 and the 102 in a league.
I know. He told me about it. Trust me.
Oh, what was the tone with which our good buddy Jake?
I think it was in general, you're an idiot.
Oh.
I don't think you came close in his mind.
No, I didn't. So we'll put it out there then. He wanted, for his 101 and 102, in a Superflex league, he wanted both Justin Jefferson and Anthony Richardson.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Your initial offer he hated.
Oh, I don't even remember what my initial offer was.
And then he started talking about, like, I was like, there's no way he does it, but I'm like, go see if you can get Jefferson or Richardson or somebody. Because at least as it sits right now, the 101 and 102 in a Superflex league, that's going to be Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr. Yeah. Right now, it's kind of no question in my mind that's who it is. So he would have to add to it, but I'm like, if you could somehow pull that off, like that is, do it.
Yeah. Well, I did roundabout go back to it, and I was like, if you give me the 101 and 102 for Jefferson, I will do it. And then he said no. So.
And to be fair, if looking at his team, I wouldn't have done that. Getting 2 players like Marvin Harrison, Caleb help his team more than just getting Jefferson.
Yeah, he needed some help all around. I think I offered him as the opener. I think it was Devontae Adams and Travis Kelce.
He texted me about that one, and I said, I don't even remember what I said, but I was like, Josh is being sleazy, I think is what I said. That's not even close. I don't know if I would trade the 102 for Kelce and Adams. I wouldn't trade that pick for both of those guys.
I would have been. I guess I didn't realize that when I had offered that, Travis Kelce's value had already tanked.
It was gone.
It went quickly. I mean, it went week 18. I don't think anybody was talking about him just going off a cliff. And then as soon as week 18 ends, everybody's like, oh, yeah, his value, it's off a cliff. And it went fast. And I missed the window. Whatever window there was, I know his value had dipped, but still.
And the thing is, he's got Mark Andrews, so he wasn't. There was never a chance he.
Yeah, and then that joker went and traded Mark Andrews for Dalton Kincaid straight up.
Yeah, he texted me about that today. He's like, "Oh shoot, I just saw that trade went through. What do you think?" And I told him straight up, like, I'll be honest, I don't like it. I would have rather kept Andrews. And then he proceeded to defend it as to why he prefers Kincaid. Which, I mean, I guess if you got conviction on a trade, it doesn't matter what other people think. If you like it, you know what, you do you. Some people get mad.
Argument?
Yeah, I think it was youth, and he just kind of thinks that Kincaid is better than Andrews. And maybe he is. I don't know. I don't think so. I think for the next 3 to 4 years, I can confidently rank Mark Andrews ahead of Dalton Kincaid. And 3 to 4 years, that's a long time. People and youth is, to a certain extent, youth is the main thing you look at with Dynasty a lot. But if you're looking in a window of 3 to 4 years, I don't think you actually realize how long that is.
That's a long time.
Yeah, that's a long time.
I mean, we say that now, but Dalton Kincaid could take a big step forward next year and be valued higher than Andrews. It could happen quick.
It could. So, and I'm not going to say it can't. I just, as it sits right now, I prefer Andrews. And I'm pretty sure you do too.
Today, I would prefer Andrews, yes. If you come to me, week
Dawson
4
Knox,
of next season, it might change.
Dawson Knox does have a long-term contract in Buffalo, which I think people kind of forget about.
It's so annoying that Dawson Knox exists. That if Dawson Knox didn't exist, Dalton Kincaid would be, for me, above Andrews. But because he exists,
I wouldn't argue that. Yeah,
jumps him.
And
it's very frustrating.
The deal breaker to me is that Mark Andrews, when he is playing, is Lamar Jackson's top target, no question.
Right.
Stephon Diggs is still the top target in Buffalo. And you have James Cook taking in a bigger role, and Dawson Knox is there. Is he better than Dawson Knox? Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Is he a top 4 dynasty tight end? Probably. But I don't know. I think there's a tier in between him and Andrews right now.
Yeah, and it depends, too, because they're probably going to draft a receiver, I feel like. Maybe they go defense, because their defense got destroyed with injuries. But
Sean
I
McDermott's
feel like
a defensive coach.
Yeah, I feel like they'll draft defense. They would benefit from another pass catcher. And
because Gabe Davis is a free agent, isn't he?
Second guy, but I think he is. I'm not sure, but I think he is. His contract is up.
Diggs is 30. Gabe Davis is a free agent. They got to get somebody.
Yeah, it's Diggs, Davis, and Shakir. You need another.
Bad.
Yeah, you need a number 2 though. And Kincaid, they could just be he's our number 2, and that's fine.
I think that would be perfectly fine. Yeah, but you got to get somebody.
Yeah, I think they're gonna add somebody.
T. Higgins.
Oh, well, that would suck for Dalton Kincaid, but that'd be great for everything else.
I'd slide out of this chair. I'd be so happy. I would just.
There's several scenarios where T. Higgins could go to a place and you would just.
I would fall to pieces, dude.
Houston.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Who says no? Nico Collins would say no.
Nico Collins and Tank Dell might be a little bit upset, but the T. Higgins truthers like myself. You'd have to be talking me off a ledge here, Josh.
Oh, you'd be putting him at your wide receiver 5 in Dynasty, and I'd be like, Ben.
There'd be listen. The dude's 24 years old, and we keep talking about C.J. Stroud like he's a top 10 quarterback, and he's ascending. If you just give him T. Higgins, gosh, dude,
that would be nice. Man, we just went on a whole tangent there.
Yeah. This was an award show. How did we get here?
I don't even know. I don't even know where that went. Oh, that was
I think
so
we were
good.
talking about trades, and then we started talking about a Mark Andrews trade.
Yeah, there you go. Anything else you want to get into before we hop out of here?
Nope. That's all I got. I'm burnt.
Leave us a star rating and review wherever you're listening to the show. It helps us out quite a bit. If you enjoy what we're doing, it's very easy. Just leave us a rating and review wherever you're listening. It truly does. That is the easiest way to help us out, and it takes like 30 seconds. And it's so good when you're going, good God, Ben.
I knocked over my cup. Calm down. It was empty.
Oh, jeez.
Everybody chill.
Anyways, rating and review. Leave one. It helps us out a bunch. We appreciate it. That'll do it for this one. We'll see you guys next week. It's Dynasty ranking time. Have a good one, everybody.
We'll see you in Dynasty season.
Peace.